Diya, my name is Pitias Makonese. I'm a student at De Montfort University studying film studies and journalism. I just want you to introduce yourself to this interview.
Of course, lovely to meet you. My name is Diya. My pronouns are she, they, and I'm the Equality and Diversity Executive at the Students' Union. So I was elected in the summer of 2019 and I'm serving my second and final year here. I am a student of DMU. I graduated from law in 2019 as well, so I've gone directly from being a student to being the student representative.
As we are meeting today, Diya, I just want to find out of this recent pandemic which causes a lockdown. What do you understand by it?
Well, I mean, there's loads of things that come under this umbrella of how students have been affected through the pandemic. It's been really, really tough. You know, it's March 2021 and I don't think anyone was ever expecting the repercussions of the pandemic and the lockdown to reach a stage where a year later we are still struggling. It's been really hard because it's absolutely affected students. Lockdown, the physical lockdowns and the physical restrictions of students being able to kind of come to campus and meet themselves. You know, right now I'm stood here on campus and I'm looking out to a very, very empty ground where it's actually really disheartening to see. It's been so hard. I think students are here to get their education and to learn and get their degrees, but beyond that, this is the first step into adulthood. A lot of us really see where we're able to actually experience the world being over 18 and socializing and getting involved into student politics and getting involved in different clubs and student groups and societies. So it's been really, really hard to see that almost cut down as we stand. But yeah, it's really hard for students to kind of get back into the loop of it, and we're absolutely trying, and I know students are staying really, really strong throughout this, which I think can only be a testament to how hardcore we really are. But it's definitely been a serious repercussion, is that actually a lot of the livelihood of students and the experiences have been taken from them, which is really sad to see.
As you have said that there are so many problems, can you just cite one or two which you think are the most outstanding problems we are facing as a result of lockdown to students?
To students, absolutely. I would say it's one of two things. I think the first one we have to look at is what I mentioned before, is the physical ability for students to come here and experience everything around us. If you are a third year student or a first year student, you've lost a lot of your outgoing and incoming experiences of what university really could be. And I think that can be really isolating and lonely in a sense, because you're unable to kind of socialize with people, you're unable to learn about, you know, everything fantastic going on in the Students' Union. So I think that is really, really key. It's the student experience that's being really missed out on. But the other thing, I think, although it's directly at students, it's not a student problem, but it's the fact that students have been scapegoated in the media as the people who've been the cause of this, as the people who are not being listening. And I think there've been a lot of undue repercussions on students and how students can learn and students can socialise. There's been hardly any government guidelines dictating to university students specifically about what we can and can't do. So I would say this year has been a really hard year of the unknowing and how it affects our students. So they're the two main things for me: student experience and student scapegoating.
Well, what are any possible solutions we can go around these problems we are facing as a result of lockdown?
Absolutely. Sorry.
I was saying, what are possible solutions we can put in place so as at least to go beyond what we are experiencing?
Absolutely. So I think one thing that has to be remembered is all this is going on around us, but it doesn't mean we're not actively fighting it. As far as the Students' Union goes, you know, we are still working full time. We have worked throughout this pandemic, albeit working from home, and we've done the best that we can do to digitalise the experience and bring the student experience to students' doorstep, so to speak. So although it's a lot harder, is what we are asking is students engage with us as much as you can. check out our website and you'll see that we have so many fantastic events going on virtually, and we've got so many different ways that you guys can get involved from the comfort of your home. But what that also means is that a lot more onus is on the students, and I get that it's really, really hard, and it must be to actually think about all the different things to do. But we're saying, get involved with us and see what we can do to make a change. We're saying that there's not enough government guidelines or there's not enough procedures going around to help our students, but actually the only body that can speak about it is the student body. So we need the student body to speak up. We need the student body to help us lobby NUS, help us lobby the government. And there's so much going on with rent strikes and tuition fees, and we at the Students Union, we're here to serve you guys. All of you as students, we can serve you and make sure that your experience is the best. So one thing you can definitely do is just engage with us. Go on to demontfortsu.com, go onto our social medias, send us a message, get in touch with us, and we'll do whatever we can to help you, and as far as we can to help you.
I understand we now have a vaccine. Do you foresee any relief as we are engaging in the usage of this vaccine against this pandemic? Is it going to be a relief?
Well, I would hope so, because that's the aim of the vaccine. I can't say I'm too qualified to say this is what everything is, blah, blah, blah. But of course, the vaccine is here to help us, and hopefully it will allow us to ease into normalcy a hell of a lot faster than it would do generally. So, yeah.
I know this is quite a tough time, but sometimes we learn something better, something which can be of great use. Do you have anything which you might say, because of this lockdown, we've come out with this, we've learned this, we are going to implement this? Anything we have learned from a lockdown exercise?
Oh, for sure. I think one of the first things that we had to look at is how we digitalize, and for us to kind of turn an eye onto our technology and making sure we are as accessible as possible has been one of the best things, because it's so important that we're engaging with loads of students. And I think definitely coming into the future, freshers, for example, we had a completely virtual one this year, but in the past we've had completely physical ones. But it would be really nice to see that blend and make sure that actually to students, if you aren't comfortable coming onto campus or you're unable to make it, you still have this online presence, and this is still how you can get involved from the comfort of your own home. It's become so much easier to get engaged with us, so I definitely see that as an absolute positive experience from it. We're all going to come back and we're raring to get back into the university cycle and the experience, and I think that can only be a positive. It's only going to be positive attitudes and good vibes once we're back, definitely.
I do really thank you, Diya, but however, if there's anything outstanding which you might need to add, you can do so at this time in a moment.
Thank you. I guess the only thing I would add is, the world is not perfect yet, and we're still doing a lot. As far as the student experience goes, there's still so much to do, and I don't think anyone in the world is denying that. We need to make sure that we are as in the best situation possible. That's all we want, is we want our students to succeed. We want our students to feel like they're getting their money's worth when they come to this university, and we're going to do everything we can to do that, and we're not going to stop. I'm sitting here with the photos of all my lovely executive team behind me, and we're going to be working constantly to make sure that that change happens, that students feel happy and students feel like they have an adequate place at the university where they feel celebrated, where they feel respected, where they feel represented. And I always go on about that, but we're going to do it, but we need your help to do it. So please, please, please get involved. There's so many ways you can get in touch with us, even if it is looking at the elections or coming to, buy some clothes at the shop or at the diner. Get involved with us, and we'll make sure we do our utmost to help you guys as well. But it only happens from talking to you guys, so please, please, please talk.
I really do thank you, Diya, for the presentation you have given. I hope your message is going to reach quite a number of our students. Thanks very much, Diya.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Okay.